So I'm a 22-year-old university student making YouTube videos and living in Canada. Coming off of an engineering internship after a year of steady paychecks, life was pretty good. But now I'm back in school and things are a little bit different. When I'm in school, I basically make no money, so I really wanted to get to the bottom of things and figure out where all of my money is going. So this week, to really keep myself accountable, I tried to record everything I did in terms of spending and financials to figure out how much I really spend in a day. Everything from cost of living, quality of life things, tuition, rent, anything that involves swiping my credit card and money leaving my account will be documented in this video. So here's to being financially responsible in my 20s. This is how much I spend in a week as a university student. Alright, I'm heading to the gym right now. I keep things pretty simple. I'm recording on my phone. And I just go to like the campus gym and I checked out how much it actually costs to go there because it is just bundled up in my tuition. And it costs for the 8 months of school, 2 semesters, $317, which comes out to about, I actually don't remember, let me check. Okay, so that gym membership comes out to about $23 bi-weekly, which is pretty cheap in terms of a gym membership. I mean, that's about as cheap of a gym membership that you'll find anywhere. In any big city, you're probably paying like double, triple that amount. So $23 bi-weekly is not the worst, especially because it is like a pretty big facility. There's like a pool, basketball court. I don't really use that stuff. I just kind of use the gym, but you also get access to like all the intramural sports leagues. So like I do ultimate frisbee, but if I did soccer, hockey, or anything like that, you'd get access to all that too for that same price. Costco on the weekends is always way too packed, but I just need to get what I need to get. What'd you get?
I'm getting Grandma's car oil because he drives a Subaru.
I will not be buying motor oil today. This is our Costco haul. Keep in mind we do have like, this is not all my stuff. This is like 4 people's groceries for like the next 2 weeks. So
Because some of Grandma's stuff's here too.
yeah, this is like 4.5 people's grocery stuff for the next couple weeks. So not all my stuff, but
This is a small haul.
I would say that like other than tuition, food and rent would be like the biggest things I spend on average in a day. Okay, it's kind of windy right now, that's why I'm covering the microphone from the wind. But realistically, where most of my money and spending on the daily goes is to here. This is campus, I pay tuition, I'm a student. So I did the math and took a look at how much tuition actually costs. So for myself at this university, it costs $6,006.82 to be here. And then we have 12 weeks of school, so 12 weeks times 5 days a week, 60 days, that comes out to about $100 every single day to be here learning. That is definitely the biggest thing and #1 consumer of my money. So I'm definitely looking forward to graduating and not having to spend that every single day. So for my second biggest expense every single day throughout the month, it's probably my room. I am out on my own now. I don't live at home, parents' basement or whatever, which is totally fine. I love going home to visit my parents and staying with them. But during the school year, I have to live, near the school. And also school for me is nowhere near home. It's like 3,000 kilometers away. So this is what I pay all that rent for. This is my room. And to cut right to the chase, rent for me every month is $950. When you divide it by the amount of average days in a month, which is like 30.4 or something. And why is it not 30.5? Well, because February has less days. So yeah, so if you take my $950, divide it by this number right here, 30.4 something, you get that. And that is how much I spend every single day to live here. Common questions, no, I do not live alone. This is not a studio apartment. I have roommates. I actually have a lot of roommates. I have 4 other friends that live with me in this house, and we have a few bathrooms that we share. I don't have my own bathroom, but like I said, I'm living with some of my closest friends, so it doesn't really matter. I totally get that it'd be completely different if you were living with strangers, then sharing things might be different, but I live with some of my closest friends for the last like 4 or 5 years. We all go to school together, so it just works out easily that way. Let me show you guys my room. This right here is my desk. You guys are basically just looking at this, and I also made a desk setup video where I talk about gear and the things I have on my desk in terms of technology, my computer, my monitor, this huge monitor, and of course the standing desk. Behind me I have one of my closets. This is one of the pros of this room, definitely for sure, is the fact that I have closet space. So here I just kind of hang up any outerwear, things that I need quickly. So sweaters, jackets, rain jackets, that goes here. And then I have some camera gear up here. And then in the corners tucked away, I just have like other things that I don't really need, like my pickleball set, spike ball set, things like that. Here's my bed. This is a double. Very glad that I have this weird little nook in this room. I was really worried that the bed wouldn't fit here and I'd have to use other space, but as you can see, it kind of perfectly fits here. So that saves a lot of space in my room. I wasn't really sure about this when I moved in, but it's worked out pretty well so far. I keep my clothes over here on the left side, and then on the right side, I just have other things like suitcases and then this other clothing rack. To be completely honest, this is student living, so I didn't really put too much time into making it the best space because I'm only here for a few semesters at a time, usually just like 1 or 2, and then you move. And also the condition of student housing isn't always the best. If you've gone to any university in North America, you understand. So yeah, this is my room, this is my space, this is where my $950 a month goes, or that many dollars per day. And I'll add that daily amount to the total cost because I'm not gonna put $950 on one day. I live here every single day of the month, so that daily average cost is gonna be, I don't even know why I explained that, like obviously that makes sense. Need to buy some socks right now, so I'm at Walmart. Honestly, I don't really spend that much money on clothing items anymore. Really, I only buy stuff when I actually need stuff.
You're yapping on the camera?
Yeah, these guys are here to buy their Halloween costumes last minute. Today is Halloween. Grabbing a pair of socks here. There's a few options. These that I'm holding are $13.97, and then there's some other ones at like $17, but that basically makes my choice for me. These are $13 white socks. Yeah, try not to spend too much money on just like buying clothes because it is super materialistic, unless I actually need things like a winter jacket or like a raincoat, things like that. But also I can justify paying more for a piece of clothing if I know it's gonna be like good quality and last me a long time. These are not that, but these are also cheap. Tickets for this event. If I can get a ticket, the next step is to buy a flight. Big part of why I wanted to make this video was for myself to actually figure out how much it costs to live the life that I want to live, or to live the life that I'm currently living. Of course, everyone has goals for the dream lifestyle they want, and that's what I'm working towards. But right now, it's important for me to figure out what I'm spending on now and where I can save money to fund future projects, future travels, projects, endeavors, things like that. So one of the biggest differences in terms of spending for myself this year versus previous years in school is the fact that I stopped drinking. And not to sit here and preach, that's not what this is about. I'm just saying that when I started university, I went definitely a little crazy with the partying and all that, and I was spending probably equal amounts of money on alcohol every week as I was to food, which is a terrible imbalance. And that's not even really to mention like the health impacts of that, but just financially, that is a huge burden. So this year, by cutting that out, I've saved a tremendous amount of money already. I mean, if you think about it now, when I go out to eat, I only have to spend the $20 on the meal. I don't have to spend the extra 20 on a drink. So every time I go out, I'm basically spending 50% as much as I would have been in the past. And then second, something I didn't mention really is transportation. So luckily I live pretty close to campus. It's kind of the student vibe to live in the student area. So every day when I walk to class, I just take my favorite mode of transportation, which is my own 2 feet. That costs $0, and obviously it's a little bit of time, but the walk is only about 10-15 minutes. And in that way, I'm also saving big money on transportation costs. I don't own a car. I have friends that own a car, so like when we went to Costco, that's helpful, but I don't own a car. There's not really public transport that I need to take because everything I need to do is within walking distance for myself. And when I do have to take the bus, the city bus, I do have like the monthly student pass, which is bundled up in my tuition. So I guess free, even though I did pay for it. I've done the Excel calculations now and I have it here. You can actually see the Excel sheet open in the back, but I have a screenshot of it here. And in total, my cost per day of living, wait, this is kind of expensive. So if you take everything that I've spent money on in this video, in total is about $336.67. But I think there's definitely something wrong with how I calculated this video and calculated all those amounts, because there's a lot of things like tuition, for example, where I averaged it across the amount of days that I get in class. So not 7 days a week, but 5 days a week. So that being $100 a day is a large majority of my cost there. And also I wanted to talk about the travel costs because like I said, I don't actually travel that often, but when I do have to, which is about 2 or 3 times a year, it basically costs about $400 round trip to go anywhere. I really only fly short distances in North America, so $400 kind of gets me to anywhere in that region. So in total, I'd say I spend on average about $1,200 a year on travel. And when you average that out by 365 days, that's only about $3 a day. And I think that's a lot more realistic of an estimation on how much I spend on travel instead of just putting $56.50 for a train ticket on one day, because I don't spend that every day. That just happened to have been the day I was spending it. So when you put things into perspective like that, and you do the same with the gym membership, you do the same with tuition and rent, things look a little different. Realistically, what I'm spending on average in a day looks a little bit more like $146.17. I think as a follow-up to this video, I'm going to make a how much YouTube paid me over the last month video, and I actually have been tracking all the details for that over the last month, so that'll be a little bit more in-depth and the analysis will be a little bit more clear. For you nerds out there like myself who are actually following along on this math, you guys might be a little upset at how I average things, but that video will be better. So hopefully those two videos together will explain, I guess, how I live. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.